And South Carolina will go out now to the gentleman who will be calling the game. Our Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson are standing by. Vern?
All right, Tim, you look from up on high at Williams-Brice Stadium, not far from the campus of the University of South Carolina. And 80,000 plus will be on hand this afternoon. There is a terrific aura of excitement as the South Carolina Gamecocks and their fans anticipate a battle with the top-ranked football team in the land, the Alabama Crimson Tide. And it's enough to cause one to wonder what the head ball coach might have up his sleeve. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by New York Life Insurance Company, LG, Verizon, and by Chick-fil-A.
Unbelievable. You can't do this stuff. Oh my gosh! Now, fire up the crowd for the win. He nailed it.
It is another splendid Saturday in the SEC. We're in Columbia, South Carolina today. SEC football on CBS. The Gamecocks of the University of South Carolina against the Crimson Tide of Alabama. It's the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Undefeated Alabama comes to town to take on once beaten South Carolina. To the strains of the theme from 2001. Here come the Gamecocks. Almost simultaneously, Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Everybody, welcome to Columbia. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson. Tracy will be along shortly. For Alabama, third game in as many weeks against ranked opponents. They won at Arkansas. They won against Florida. Now they come to South Carolina. The advantage, Gary, the Gamecocks seem to have is 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
You know, I've been thinking about this all week, Vern. I mean, the buys that they're approaching right now, and when we talk to the Alabama players, they all have the correct answers. Oh, one play at a time, one game at a time. But this is big. They're trying to repeat, and this is going to be tough. And, you know, we're close to Augusta and the Masters. And what do they say the pressure comes in Augusta?
It's the back nine on Sunday.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, I think Alabama's about to approach the back nine on Sunday. It's going to ratchet up. We always talk about their stars, Ingram, Richardson. You know, let's talk about some other guys, because for them to make this run, we're going to have to look at some other players like a Preston Dial. Doesn't get a lot of publicity, but he makes the big blocks and catches the short passes on offense to go along with that affected offensive line. On defense, they've got some stars too, and some emerging stars like Courtney Upshaw, who last week put on a show against Florida. How about Drake Kirkpatrick? One of those young corners that Nick Saban always seems to find, and as they say, Nick can find linebackers, and he's found another freshman linebacker in C.J. Mosley. They've got more than just stars.
Steven Garcia has been on a short list with Steve Spurrier. That doesn't make him unique. But no matter who starts at quarterback, it'll be Garcia or Connor Shaw, the freshman. Either one is going to need some help from other guys.
I think you're exactly right, Vern. And I think South Carolina is going to need their stars to match up against Alabama. Let's start with Stephon Gilmore, their corner on defense. He'll have to make some big plays both in the punting game on special teams, but especially when he's matched up against Julio Jones. Alshon Jeffery is probably the best receiver you've never heard of in college football. He is a mismatch for this Alabama defense. They'll require some help. But finally, I think Steve Spurrier has a running back. Marcus Lattimore is a guy who can perhaps give Steve a right and a left hook to play against Alabama. But the question is, can one guy take on the two guys from Alabama?
All right, Gary, Alabama won the toss, and they have elected to receive. They will be going from our right to our left. Temperature a little warm, 84 degrees. Alabama has owned this series. This will be only the 15th time that they have met. And so this frenzied crowd ready for the kickoff. Jay Wooten will kick off, number 18. He's a transfer from North Carolina in his first year with the Gamecocks. Nice kick. 4 yards deep. Richardson decides to bring it out. And why not?
He ran right through the stop sign. His own guy was saying, stay in.
There have been some players dinged up, but let's check in more on that with Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, Vern. South Carolina will be without the quarterback of their defense. Linebacker Shaq Wilson is out for the game with a hamstring injury and most likely for the season. They're going to need someone to step up in his place. Wide receiver Julio Jones on the Alabama side. He has a bruised left knee against Florida. He was limited in practice earlier this week. Offensive coordinator Jim McElwain said he's 80% right now. He will play. He will handle kickoffs, but not punts, guys.
On first down, McElroy settles for his checkoff receiver. And that is going to be a modest gain as Ingram turns his back, shields himself, gets the catch, but is tackled immediately by Stephon Gilmore, number 5. McElroy, undefeated as a starter, as you've heard, not only at Alabama, but in his senior year at South Lake Carroll High School, and having quite a good year. Second down and 8. 3 wides to the near side. Now Ingram goes back alongside McElroy. 4 down for South Carolina. They might be coming. They are. They bring 5. Out to Marquise Mays. He's got some room down the sidelines. Bang from behind, but a big, quick pickup by Mays. 19 yards.
I'll tell you, Darius Hanks that time, the inside guy, made a great block to help Mays get down the sideline. An easy pass again. Remember, this is the game McElroy kind of hit bottom last year. From this game, he went all the way to the national championship, but Hanks is the guy that got the key block on the play. That's all you have to do sometimes. Get in the way and let the athlete run by him.
Empty backfield after that 19-yard gain. A lot of time for McElroy. Nobody open, so he'll tuck it, and he will run. And he is knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Tony Straughter makes the tackle. Now let's check the Alabama offense. Presented by Chick-fil-A up front. Carpenter, Warmack, Vlahos, Barrett Jones, and DJ Fluker, the redshirt freshman. Julio Jones, Michael Williams, a tight end. Ingram, and there's Preston Dial. You heard Gary talk about him as we came on the air. Marquise Mays just had that 19-yard catch. And now the shotgun, the Wildcat. Here's Ingram. Boy, you think South Carolina doesn't have awful memories of Ingram in that Wildcat.
Well, you got to know, the last 2 weeks, South Carolina and their defensive coordinator, Ellis Johnson, has just grounded into these guys and grinded away and saying, come on, you know we're going to see this Wildcat. What does Alabama do? Start out in the spread to take him off a little bit and then comes right back to the Wildcat.
Mark Ingram became a serious candidate for the Heisman in this game a year ago. You just saw 246 yards. 68 of them came on the game-clinching drive. 5 of those 6 plays in the drive were out of the Wildcat. Here's Ingram again. 2 good blocks. First down, Alabama. Well, a year ago, it was 13-6 when Alabama got the ball and they put Ingram in the Wildcat, Gary, and went to work.
Yeah, he touched the ball every time. All from the Wildcat, marched it down the field, took the time off the clock, showed his ability, really captured the nation, as you said, Vern, in this drive, and then scored the last play on a toss.
Well, this time, nothing for Ingram, as Travian Robertson, number 42, led the defensive charge. Second down, 9. Now Richardson is in, and he comes wide to the left. Marquise Mays is the outside man. Richardson is closest to the line of scrimmage. Now he goes back alongside Greg McElroy. Quick flip, near side, blocker out in front. Marquise Mays. It was Hanks again leading the way downfield. Let's check the South Carolina Gamecock defense. They were blistered in the fourth quarter at Auburn 2 weeks ago. Taylor, Robertson, Adjuboy, and Clint Matthews, who is one of the stars of this team. 2 linebackers, Dickerson, Tony Strutter. 5 defensive backs, Holloman, Gilmore, Swearinger, Chris Culliver, and Antonio Allen. 3rd and 3. That's Preston Dial, and he is short by a yard.
That was a nice defensive changeup for South Carolina. They did not go man. You're going to see both guys are going to come over here to play a rub against here. But South Carolina stays home. They don't follow the players. So it was the right guess by the defensive coordinator that time, figuring it would be a man route.
Jeremy Shelley, who is the so-called short field goal kicker, perfect this year with a long of 36. And he cuts that one inside the left upright. It's Shelley and Cade Foster who rotate field goal kicking, depending on the spot of the football. So the Crimson Tide with a field goal lead. LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, presents great SEC rivalries.
It's all about tailgating, flag waving, drink shaking, face painting. First down and more, he may go. Season time! Heading for the line, time to the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina! All day Dixie Way, Saturday in the South. The Tide is going to roll in this rivalry. Go, Bama!
Well, Alabama, as we have discovered, travels very well, at our hotel filled with Crimson Tide fans. Alabama won the first 10 meetings in this series. Look at that. South Carolina didn't score a point in the first 3. And the first South Carolina win, 2001. Now, Chris Culliver is back. Number 3 all-time kickoff returns, yardage, and number in SEC history. Chasing Brandon James of Florida in both categories. And here's Culliver all the way out to the 36, maybe the 37. Looks like that is where the spot will go.
So you want to play college football, Vern?
Yeah.
You want to be a guy that takes on the wedge? Watch this taking on the wedge right here. Oh! That's the guy who's going to earn his books, tuition, and room and board that week. I'll take on the wedge.
And here is Steven Garcia, now a junior for the season. Pretty good stats, 69%. But the number that is not on that graphic, fumbles, 3, 2 weeks ago in the fourth quarter in the loss at Auburn. Empty backfield on first down. Garcia, quick setup, right side. And the catch complete at the 41-yard line. And let's check the offensive lineup for South Carolina now, presented by Chick-fil-A. King, Chisholm, T.J. Johnson, Milkevius Watkins, and Kyle Nunn up front. Here's the quick handoff.
There was a bust up top.
Okay. I was concentrating.
I know, South Carolina blew it. They had a quick screen on, and the receivers didn't know it.
Jeffrey D.L. Moore, Lattimore, the freshman in the backfield, Patrick DeMarco, and Torrey Gurley. These two wide receivers, 6'5" each.
This is a theme that South Carolina didn't want. Last year, they had so many 3rd and longs, and here they go starting out the game with 3rd and long.
This one, the need is 8. 5 wide receivers. 3 down for Alabama. Let's see what Kirby Smart dials up here. They rush 4. They stunt, and the crossing pattern underneath. The catch is made. A first down accomplished at midfield. Ace Sanders, number 9, a 12-yard gain.
Got inside C.J. Mosley that time, the inside linebacker, so that was the proper throw. Coming from the left side of the screen, just dips inside and catches the easy one. That's a good matchup. Number 9, when you got a wide receiver against an inside linebacker.
That's a 5'7" receiver, in contrast to the 2 tall guys we just mentioned. And a pickup of 12 yards. First down at the 50. Lattimore, downfield block from Gurley, and Lattimore is inside the 30.
Well, you have to talk about this if you're talking about Alabama's streak. 39 straight games that they have not given up a 100-yard individual rusher. 39, Vern. I mean, somebody's got to bust a run once in a while. Lattimore in his first carry busts one into the secondary against Alabama. They spread him out with a few passes, and then they run the big guy.
That's the game of 24. Here's the sprint out to the right side. Is it caught? I believe it is. Well, Gurley makes the block on the 22-yard run, and an 18-yard grab for another first down for the Gamecocks.
Wonderful throw by Steven Garcia. That was about the only spot. He had about a half a foot to put it, and put it right where he had to.
First down and 10 outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. Lattimore, this time he's jammed up. May have picked up a yard of 1. Well, Gary, we've got force against force inside the red zone.
Something's got to give. 2 highly successful teams on executing the red zone offense versus the other side that can execute the red zone defense. And we all recall last year in the second quarter when Steve dialed 3 straight fade passes to try to get his matchup to the outside.
This is an Alabama team that has given up only 3 touchdowns in 5 games. Lead the country in scoring defense, 9 points per game. Underneath, Lattimore, touchdown, South Carolina.
I think it's an illegal formation, I think.
There's a flag down.
Yep, right at the snap. No, it's not going to be. Illegal substitution? Because that came out right away.
Offside on the defense. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
How about that design of a play? And Steven Garcia puts it right there.
Spencer Lanning for the extra point. A kickoff by Chris Culliver. A 22-yard run by Lattimore. An 18-yard catch, and then the touchdown.
Yeah, I think the defender right here lined up off sides on the play, but watch the center, T.J. Johnson, come out and get a key block. Come out. Here comes TJ. He's downfield, and that ball is completed near the line of scrimmage. That was hairline, because that center was downfield, and that ball might have been completed downfield. That was really close.
That's Lattimore's first reception for a TD this season. waving those white towels when we went away to commercial. They still are. Great start for South Carolina. 63-yard drive, 7 plays, a couple of big plays, and Marcus Lattimore out of Duncan, South Carolina, gets his first reception for a TD.
I mean, this is the ball game. I watched all of Thursday's practice. Probably half the practice was in the red zone that South Carolina worked on.
Here's the kick. Richardson over the shoulder catch. He's to the 15, cuts to his left, 21.
So for all of you that don't have a TiVo or a DVR, let's show you how close this was. The ball started out at just past the 10-yard line. So it has to be caught behind the 10-yard line or right at the 10-yard line for the center to be downfield. And yes, it was caught right at the line. That was the perfect call on the play and well designed. A little close.
Yes.
I'm sure Steve wanted that ball caught a yard deep, but nevertheless, a perfectly designed play and executed just as well.
Only the 4th touchdown allowed this season. It's only the 2nd on an opponent's opening drive. The other time this season that Alabama has trailed was in Fayetteville. Arkansas in that one jumped out to a 17-7 halftime lead. They were ultimately up by 13. And here's the give up the middle to the 25-yard line. It's Trent Richardson, number 3. Nick Saban told us a couple of weeks ago that the normal pattern, the way he uses his 2 outstanding running backs, he'll give Mark Ingram 4, maybe 5 carries in a series, and then he'll put Richardson in maybe 3, and then that repeats itself throughout. They go to the 4th quarter, and who's got the hot hand? And of course, it's been Ingram more often than not. Mark sat out the first 2 games of the year after knee surgery. Here's McElroy. Whoa. Again, the check down. And the catch is made. Well, Tracy Wolfson nicknamed him last week. Fast and Furious. It's interchangeable. Take your pick.
Last week, their numbers were a little ho-hum, but their effectiveness is always there. They kind of shut it down in the last half, but when you see that average, almost 7.5 yards a carry for your backup, that's the backbone of this football team, those 2 guys.
First down 10. Good balance so far for Alabama, 4 and 6. McElroy under center, steps up, he'll tuck it, he will run. He got dinged when hit by Duke Lemons of Florida last week. And actually, I remember the play, he came up grinning. It was on a sideline collision. And but then he called a couple of plays wrong, right?
Right. And this is, I remember commenting on this play. This was early in the football game, and Greg is too valuable to this football team to be taking shots like that. And if you saw the down marker, it was first down. Now, if that's 3rd down or 4th down, you got to do it, but not on first down. You're too valuable.
2nd down 4. Deep handoff. Oh, nifty run.
The nifty blocking, too, I'll tell you.
Richardson tackled by Rodney Polk.
You know, I thought about this when I did the game. We did the game last week, and I said, I don't think I even mentioned James Carpenter's name one time. But then I started thinking, if you're a left tackle, that's probably the best thing ever. I'm not going to get mentioned the whole game. That's like being an official. That means you've done your job so well, protecting the quarterback and clearing out the way for those 2 running backs.
That's another Alabama first down. Now McElroy 5 yards back. Fakes the handoff. Deep into double. He overthrows it. It was intended for Preston Dial near side.
Really,
Matthews.
Excuse me, Vern. I thought South Carolina really loaded the line of scrimmage, and they had a chance to throw deep. Watch the safety come up here, and down here on the post route, it's one they could have had. See, they've got a deep ball here that you got to throw that out to the middle of those 2 hashes and get the big play. That was an opportunity on an early down. Instead of running it into the strength of South Carolina, you would hope Craig McElroy would throw it deep and get a big one.
2nd down 10. McElroy's first incomplete pass. This time they hand it off. It's Ingram. And it's going to bring up 3rd and long. See as they unravel who's down at the bottom. Looked like Lattimorescored, the senior from Riverdale, Georgia. Third and 7.
Brad Smelly's in the lineup now, kind of their receiving tight end in the slot to the right side of Greg McElroy.
Number 17, that's Marquise Mays in motion. South Carolina brings 5. They stunt. McElroy has time. In and through the hands of Darius Hanks. That should have been completed.
I guess. You can't throw it any better than that. Really good read that time by the Alabama quarterback. They kind of doubled the tight end right here. He had the square in coming behind it, and he put it right on the 1 and the 5. Now, he knows he was going to get hit by Holloman right there, but you're going to get hit whether you drop it or catch it. You might as well catch that one.
Corey Mandel is on to punt. He's a true freshman, 9th in the SEC at 41 yards. Stephon Gilmore is back to return it. He is perched at the 15-yard line. Gilmore, who earlier this year had a 75-yarder. Oh, this one almost blocked, but it was not touched.
That was the same as last week. Remember, he had the low snap against Florida, and he had the bad punt? The same thing happened.
It was 5'4" Bryce Sherman who had the rush on the freshman punter. That one's good for 17 yards. That's an ouch if you're Alabama. You can build your own football dynasty and compete year-round with CBSSports.com franchise football on Facebook. Find out more at CBSSports.com/franchise. Short punt, 17 yards. Drop pass on 3rd down, Darius Hanks. And after those 2 plays, 1st down, South Carolina.
And now what does Steve do? I mean, Nick said last night to us, I think Steve calls plays as if he's the quarterback,
yes.
Right? So now what does he do? He's got a hot quarterback. Does he just keep chucking it around and keep it spread out?
Just calling himself some ball plays. Here's Garcia, a lot of time.
Bad throw.
Yeah. Down at the feet of Lattimore. There's a flag down. And let's introduce you to the defensive lineup of Alabama. Darius Chapman and Damian Square, the 3 down men. Harris, Mosley, the freshman, Hightower, and Upshaw, who had a game for the ages last week. And in the secondary, Milliner, Barron, Lester, and Dre Kirkpatrick.
Boy, how about that? Back-to-back big plays that lined up offsides for Alabama in this football game. You know, Steven Garcia has started 3 for 3 on 1st and 2nd down. That's an important stat. After this play, I'll tell you why.
They load up 3 wides to the left on 1st down and 5. Fake the pitch. And the handoff to the 45. It's Lattimore. Damian Square with the tackle. And the question is why?
Vern, last year everybody kind of got consumed about what happened on 3rd down. But last year against Alabama in that tight game that you talked about,
right.
Steve Garcia was 2 for 17 on 1st and 2nd down. And that's really what changed the down and distance for them the whole game. He couldn't hit the easy throws.
Well, he's off to a great start here, and it's 2nd down and 2. Garcia keeps it. 1st down, South Carolina at the 41. A gain of 13.
Well, if you can establish the running back and you can get him to even make a couple of yards, then you can run the read. Here's the quarterback read. He sees the defensive end just sink on the play that time, Damian Square, and he just takes the ball and makes another 1st down.
Rokevius Watkins, number 73, right guard, was leading the way. Here's Garcia, flips it out left side, and an open field tackle is missed, and Lattimore is still on his feet. Inside the 35. 7-yard gain.
This is one of the passes that Spurrier gets upset with Garcia. He considers it an easy throw, and he wants him to make a long handoff to the running back. Lattimore bailed him out that time and made a positive out of a poor throw.
Well, if you're counting missed tackles, you can give one to Milliner. He missed Lattimore in space, as they say. Well, Lattimore, who rushed for 182 against Georgia in a win earlier. Here's his first big run of this one.
Yeah, he was touted as the best running back coming in all of high school coming into college football, and he's lived up to it.
Garcia, that's going to be short. It's going to bring up fourth down. I don't know if it looked like there might have been a misconnection in the backfield.
No, I think that was a designed fake screen, and Marcel Darius right there wasn't faked out.
All right, fourth down.
You turn on the tape and you watch Marcel Darius play and you go, yeah, I get why he's one of the best players in college football.
Alshon Jeffery is late. He and Gurley go both to the left side. South Carolina will go for the first down. They are the only team without a fourth down attempt.
He's going to call timeout. Yes. Steve does not like the look.
Now, Steve Spurrier, I think, thought he had exactly the right play. Doubleheader for you on CBS. The NFL on CBS tomorrow. Lead game early, Kansas City at Indianapolis. And the late game, Tennessee in Arlington. It all begins with the NFL today, 12 noon Eastern, JB and the quartet.
I think the 4th and 2 forced a passing formation. We don't know if they're going to throw, but that's a little too far to go with an I formation against Alabama.
3 wides to the right, 1 to the left, and Garcia looks over at Steve Spurrier. P.J. Johnson over the ball. Alabama looks like they're coming. They are. And Garcia breaks the tackle. Oh, my goodness. He was nailed for no gain. And poor tackling by Alabama.
He almost got a laugh. Now, because remember a week ago, Garcia was benched in the midst of one of his better games because he put his head down and fumbled the ball. So here he is running inside and puts his head down and makes a key first down. I mean, you know, when a guy's like that, sometimes you got to live with a little bit of bad because of some of the good he produces like that.
That's a gain of 7. First down, I formation here. Play fake. Garcia back. Steps up, goes deep right side. Alshon Jeffery. Touchdown, South Carolina. Spencer Lanning on for the extra point. 26-yard TD pass and catch. 62-yard drive. Lanning's extra point is up and good. There's a flag down at the 3-yard line.
This feels a little bit like Arkansas at the beginning of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, very reminiscent.
Well, they're going to take the points,
yeah,
aren't they?
I think so. Matt Moore's on
both sides. Number 21 of the defense. Penalty decline. Points are good.
Let's start out. You saw the catch. It was a great catch and a great throw, but look at the pressure that Garcia threw this ball. Coming right at him, he let it go. He had to just take on Darius just as he let it go. And at the end of the catch, I thought Mark Barron was going to intercept this ball. I thought he had it the whole way, and he misjudged it just a bit.
Alshon Jeffery, 6'4" sophomore. Touchdown, Gamecocks. Well, if you're a South Carolina fan, everything that could go right has gone right, including a 4th down conversion, 2nd long drive. Steven Garcia has had a splendid game so far.
Yeah, I guess 6 for 6 and a big first down run and 2 touchdown passes. That ain't bad against the #1 team in the country.
Jay Wooten will kick off again.
That should get him at least into the middle of the 4th quarter with Steve, shouldn't it?
I'm not so sure. That leash is really short. Richardson averaging 30 yards per kickoff return, gets 22 on that one.
Yeah, I talked about Mark Barron, the free safety, having this play. There he is right there. Watch Mark. He kind of had it all the way. It was the perfect defense on the play. He's in the middle of the field. Now he's on the near hash. He tracks the ball, should have it all the way, and just misses the ball. That's your All-American safety. You got the right defense on. Your stars have to make the plays.
14-3 Gamecocks. Here's McElroy. Man is open at the 30. That's Julio Jones. We might have a flag on Stephon Gilmore. I think this might be on number 5. Little unnecessary roughness.
Ripped his helmet off.
Yeah. Gain of 14.
Just a little hitch to the outside. Should have been about an 8-yard gain. It's going to turn into a big one. Was it a gain of 14, Vern?
Personal
It's going
foul.
to be 15 more.
Face mask. Number 5 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So that's an 8-yard play that turns into a 29-yard play.
Yeah.
You know, and there's face mask very clearly, and then he rips it off at the end. And see, here it is. I mean, you know Alabama's not going to crack. They've been here before.
Down by 13 in the 3rd quarter at Arkansas. Came back to win that one 24-20. We might not. Let's see if they want one more play. Mark Ingram in the Wildcat.
Didn't get it off.
If they wanted to play, it's certainly a casual approach to things. Well, that is the end of the 1st quarter with the score. South Carolina 14, Alabama 3. Will return after this message and a word from your local station. A dream start for the South Carolina Gamecocks, who have never in 4 previous tries defeated a #1 team in college football. 2nd year in succession that a #1 team has played here. Last year was Florida, ranked #1 at the time. And Nick Saban prowling the sidelines. It's 1st down and 10 at the 47 after the catch by Julio Jones and the subsequent penalty. Play fake. McElroy back. He's hit. That's a fumble. Ball is out. Who got it? South Carolina got it.
Just took a little too long, and Antonio Allen, the spur outside linebacker, strong safety, comes from the blind side. He sent the outside safety, and Alabama had no answer for it.
There's the contact. Allen.
Man, oh man. You could see that Alabama thought they might try to go deep, cut into that deficit, and Ellis Johnson again anticipated the pass and brought his guy.
Here's Garcia on 1st down after the turnover. He's under some pressure, but he completes the ball to the 41-yard line. That's Ace Sanders in front of Mark Barron.
And there's going to get a roughing the passer on the play too, Vern.
Yes.
One more look at the blitz coming from the backside. No chance. Actually, two guys could have got him on that play. But Garcia bought a little bit of time with his feet, let it go, and you got roughing the passer. Man, I'll tell you. Now, think about this again. Garcia was 2 for 17 on first and second down. Here's that play again. And that's kind of tough because Luther Davis had no idea whether Garcia still had the ball. When he went down, on him to tackle him, he thought Garcia still had the ball, and he's trying to sack him.
So now a first down at the 26-yard line. Garcia perfect so far in the ball game. Looks back over at the South Carolina sideline. 7 of 7. Lattimore has picked up 28. He'll get a chance to add to that total right here, and he sheds tacklers as he grows to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 11.
Well, it's all working right now, and the Alabama defense are chasing their tail a bit. When you can throw the ball, when you're 7 for 7, now those run lanes start to become bigger and bigger. C.J. Mosley took the wrong gap and missed the tackle, and all of a sudden your good athlete, Kirby Smart's going, wow, this guy's a little better than the 3 guys they had last year.
Defensive coordinator, Alabama, first down, South Carolina. Left side, Jeffrey's got space, and a touchdown. The victim this time was the freshman DeMarcus Milliner, number 28. That's 6'1" against 6'4". Spencer Lanning for the extra point.
However, on this one, Vern, Jeffrey could have been 5'10". That's how much he beat him on this one-on-one play. Milliner wasn't even close enough. Remember, he had the pass interference to save one against Florida? He wasn't even close enough to get pass interference on this one. When he turned around, the ball was there. Another perfect throw from Stephen Garcia.
Stephen Garcia is now 8 of 8. South Carolina 21-3, 18-point deficit. And this crowd that exceeds 80,000 at Williams-Brice Stadium has gone nuts. Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports provided by MetLife. Three plays after the fumble recovery, 43 yards. Garcia with 3 touchdowns, 2 to Alshon Jeffery, 1 to Marcus Lattimore. Julio Jones is one of 2 men back. Jay Wooten. This time it's taken at the 3 by number 3. And he is out between the 30 and the 40-yard line. Well, let's take a deep breath and have Gary analyze
got
what
all
we've
these
seen
stats
so
written
far.
all over this card, and what strikes me is that none of these stats really matter as good as they are. I go back to that 4th down ad-lib run by Stephen Garcia.
Right.
That kind of blew the top off of this football game. He regained his confidence, and now Alabama, with the deficit that they're not used to, is going to have to fight back a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Well, they were down by 13 at Arkansas and stayed with the game plan and clawed their way back in it. See what the tactics are here. Here's McElroy. That pass complete after the 43-yard line. Let's go back to the studio for this John Hancock update. Here's Tim.
Vern, since you and Gary were mentioning Arkansas, after an interception that led to an A&M touchdown, Ryan Mallett redeems himself. 71 yards to Kobe Hamilton to make it 14-7 Razorbacks. Many thought this could be a trap game before the Auburn matchup next week. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tim. Second down and short here. 21-3. Mark Ingram is in the Wildcat formation. Fakes it to Marquise Mays. Comes right And he picks up a first down, Alabama, at the 47-yard line.
You know why I like this Wildcat on this one right here? It serves two purposes. Not only does it serve notice to South Carolina that we're still going to run the ball, but it gives that Alabama defense some time to gather their thoughts and regroup over there. So I think they need, even if they don't score, and of course you always want to score, they need a couple first downs to kind of settle that young defense down that was so effective a week ago.
First down 10. Marquise Mays right side adjusts his position. Four-man rush. McElroy settles for the check down receiver. It's Ingram again. And nothing doing on this one. Well, let's get a report down on the sideline on that Alabama defense. Here's Tracy.
Well, Gary, you just mentioned it. They are still a young defense. We were so impressed with their poise when they were down against Arkansas, but it is completely different on the sideline today. You just have to see the leaders getting on their young players, these upperclassmen, and telling them, keep your head up, and teaching them here on the sideline, make sure they don't keep their heads down and they get back in this game, guys.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Second down and 10. No gain last play. Ingram again. Ineffective. He gets to the 50. It'll bring up third, 8 or 9, depending on the spot. Lottie Ajaboy, number 91.
Ajaboy and Travian Robertson, number 42, the two inside tackles. I mean, when those two guys win, Vern, wait in here. If those two guys can stand up and get stalemates, that is huge. 91 and 42 both take on the play in their blockers, and even if you don't make the tackle, if you just take them on, that is huge.
Third and 8. Alabama has yet to convert a third down. They're 0 for 2, so it's very early in the game. Vallejo snaps it back. McElroy, right side. Did he get it? Yes, he did. First down at the 40. How about Marquise Mays with that little tap dance on the sideline?
Well, remember the last time Alabama threw the ball in the pocket, it was a sack. So good protection, and Mays runs the out route, and it's a wonderful throw to the outside, and Mays keeps those 2 feet in. Did he tap him? The people on the board here are saying it was very close. Quick snap by Alabama could solve that problem real quick.
College football, every play
they're going
is
to
review.
stop it.
Whoa. Let us take another look.
He did a nice technique, but did he have the ball in his hands when his toes touched the ground? All he needs one.
I think he did.
His left toe was very close. Look at the linesman right here. He's down. He's crouched.
It's Kirk Lewis, who's got great position on the play. Here's from the other perspective. They're not going to overturn that. I bet you. Field judge is Jeff Batts.
Well, did you notice his hands? His right hand came off the ball. He kind of double caught it, Vern. And that's what, now you've got to see, it's all in the eye of the beholder here. Did his hands double catch the ball? His toe was in. But was his hands readjusting the football? And is that what the replay official will see? Got to see the ball and the toe at the same time. That linesman has no chance to see both.
Marquise Mays saying, yes, I had it. And this one, here we go. Matt Moore.
After further review, the play on the field stands. First down.
It was hairline, one way or another. His toe was definitely in. We noticed that his right hand came off the ball. Watch, he has it. And then watch his right hand separate just a bit off the football.
How about the mechanics?
Doesn't matter now.
No.
First and 10.
McElroy, the ball at the 40-yard line, 21-3, South Carolina. Trent Richardson. Again, not much. Boy, this Gamecock defense has played quite well so far.
Yeah, the one thing that I thought Alabama would be able to attack the South Carolina defense was at linebacker, where they're very young. They're without Shaq Wilson. Rodney Polk has been suffering with injuries this year. They've got youth there. I thought the play action, the little boots, the little tight end drags would give those linebackers trouble. But at 21-3, it's a little easier to let those guys catch those 2-yard passes.
Second down and 9. Play action. Oh boy, the pressure coming, and they got the pass complete. That's Preston Dial. McElroy with a good job of getting rid of it.
Pressure right up the gut, and he had to throw the ball. I think it was Robertson, number 42, was it? Yes, it was. He tackles, and then coming from the outside, he gets rid of it. I think Cliff Matthews, as Vern called it, was exactly right, but Greg McElroy does a good job of getting that ball out of his hands, just as I was talking about, those tight ends, trying to change the dynamics with your tight ends here.
Third down 2.
Definitely 4-down territory.
Corner blitz coming. And it's Richardson, spins and drives. Alabama with the first down at the 25.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Richardson or Ingram, the Wildcat has been the most effective running formation for Alabama today. That time Mormack comes across again, and that's that inside kind of bob play that they run with their guard coming across and just following up on a little ISO.
Now we get the Wildcat. McElroy is the quarterback. They pay scant attention to him. He's wide to the left, and they'll come right and get nada. Josh Dickerson, number 41. Gary talked about the linebackers. They did lose Shaq Wilson. Eric Norwood, of course, graduated and is gone. Wilson hampered by a hamstring, so they moved him to the outside. Now he's gone, and Dickerson is taken over in the middle.
Yeah, and Dickerson should be comfortable in this Wildcat a little bit because he played Auburn. I mean, what's the difference, Cam Newton or Mark Ingram? I mean, you got to stop the run. He came off the edge like he was familiar with it.
Second down, 11, 2 wide, 3 wides to the left side. 3-man rush. McElroy, left side, got it by Julio Jones. And it's going to bring up a third down and 1 at the 16-yard line as Alshon Jeffery, number 33, was there to make the tackle.
Well, Vern, I said I haven't talked about James Carpenter in a couple weeks, and the left tackle deserves some sugar every once in a while. This guy just keeps his back straight, keeps his feet moving, and just stones Cliff Matthews to the outside to allow that one.
Third and 1. Ingram behind the center. Julio Jones. Ingram goes left. Oh, what a tackle. Now, Ingram refused to go down, and he might have squeezed out enough for the first down.
Yeah,
it was initial hit was terrific.
It was, and it's going to be inches one way or another for a first down or not a first down here. Somebody from the secondary, either Holloman or Swearinger, comes up and makes that play. But it is very close. I think it was Devontae Holloman, number 21. Couldn't tell exactly.
I think you're right.
Yes, it was. Yes. It was right at the yellow line. But watch, Ingram kind of falls forward after he's pushed back. The hit was big, but he never stopped his feet.
Right. And so Ingram does get the first down for the Crimson Tide.
And that's what South Carolina was preaching all day at practice. We need to gang tackle, and there was no gang tackling there. One guy made the hit. Ingram has got too much great balance, and he fell forward and used his feet and his balance to make the first down.
First down from the 15, trailing 21-3 midway through the second quarter. McElroy, always in trouble, shakes it, finds a receiver, and the ball is down inside the 10. The catch made again by Preston Dial. You highlighted him in the game opening conversation. He's come through for you.
He really has. I mean, he's a safety valve here, but McElroy is the guy that makes the play here. He dodges the blitz, the late blitz that time coming from Rodney Polk, and then dumps it off to his safety valve to the outside.
Well, again, we're inside the red zone, and this is the Verizon red zone with Alabama threatening. Second down. This is the 12th play of the drive. Toss. Ingram looks for blocks, doesn't get them. Nice job defensively. Chris Culliver and Tony Straughter was also in the neighborhood. Culliver, number 17, the cornerback. Third down. .35 to go first half. 21-3. Alabama, 3rd and 4. Rollout. McElroy goes back to his left. One-on-one. 4th down.
Not a bad job by McElroy. I think that Alabama was going to kick a field goal had they not got it real close anywhere. He kept the play alive as long as he could, and 21-6 still makes it a 2-possession game.
It was Rodney Pauck. Gary mentioned the injuries he's had. He's missed all but 4 games each of the last 2 years. And now there's substitution problems for Alabama. And they're yelling over at the sidelines, who's the last person on? It's Carpenter. So Shelley is on to try the field goal to cut the margin. Oh, dear. Plays, nothing. Shelley from 31, wide right.
A lot of pressure, Vern. When does the pressure start?
Back 9 on Sunday.
Well, when you're trying to be the defending champion in college football, and in today's rules in college football, you got to win them all. There's a lot of pressure.
We'll continue after this word from your local station. Oh, there's that familiar theme. Monday on CBS is Trouble in Paradise as the Hawaii 5-0 team tracks the state contest. Catch TV's #1 news show, Hawaii 5-0, Monday only, CBS.
You know, Vern, I was thinking, because of all the confusion and a young kicker, was Nick going to call a timeout and just settle it all down? And I think when you're down 21-3 or 6, if they made it, he wanted to save all 3 timeouts to get a stop here and get one more chance to score in this half. So I really agreed with the strategy. Just, hey, it's your job to kick it. You got to make it.
And he missed it from 31, his first miss of the year. Here's the handoff left side. 21-3, 3 touchdown passes from Steven Garcia. 2 to Alshon Jeffery, 1 to this young man. And there's Mark Ingram, who for the day has 7 carries for 18 yards.
Yeah, compared to what he did last year, there's the little chess match going on. Remember, South Carolina gets the ball to start the second half. Can they run out the clock here?
Lattimore. Out of bounds. Courtney Upshaw, number 41, made the tackle. Flag down. Looks like this one will come back and go to the south against South Carolina holding.
Yeah, I think it was D.L. Moore, the wide receiver that time, to the outside.
Saw that graphic. Here's Matt Moore. Let's get the call first.
Holding, number 82 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
And this really changes the dynamics now. Nick will now use his timeouts and get the ball back one more time in this half.
Which has 4:06 remaining.
And now we're going to find out how much Steve Spurrier really trusts Steven Garcia.
Out of the gun. That's Patrick DeMarco, the tight end, goes tight to the right. Here's the change from Garcia. Garcia hasn't missed yet. He's 8 of 8. 91 yards, 3 touchdowns, draw play. Lattimore. Mark Barron is there to make the tackle. That's a very modest gain. Just to complete that thought on the loss to Utah that came in the Sugar Bowl, and it was after this Alabama team had been defeated by Florida in the 08 SEC championship game. They are 31-2 in their last 33 games, and the 2 losses came back-to-back. It was, to say the obvious, a lethargic performance in the Sugar Bowl against Utah.
Yep.
Lethargic. It works.
That's a loss no matter how you spell it.
3rd and 13. 3-man rush. Underneath pass. It'll be 4th down. Yep.
Very safe.
Well, 29 straight regular season games, 19 straight games overall, 9 straight games against top 25. And here's one more little cashew. They scored first in this game. They're 27-1 in the last 28 games in which they've scored first. All of which doesn't mean a hill of beans when they're down 21-3. It's Menzie, the injured player.
You know, it is interesting here when you look at the strategy that Nick Saban is employing. You can see that the South Carolina offense has earned his respect. Normally you would think he would take a timeout, but he's let 2 40-second clocks go here and is going to get the ball back. But at 2:30 in the game, he could have had it, in the half, he could have had it with over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Well, there's still plenty of time, but it does show you that he really didn't know for sure if he could get a stop down here.
And the clock is started again now at 2:40.
And they'll let it, South Carolina will let it run all the way down and probably take a timeout right before it gets to 1 second, or punt right at the end of the clock.
First punt for South Carolina. Spencer Lanning, field goal and punts for the Gamecocks. Earlier this year against Furman, he had a career-long 51-yard field goal and a career-long 58-yard punt. Same game. Here's Lanning. Return is on all the way. Nice high, very deep. Mark Barron is there at the 31-yard line. Goes left. Comes right. Looks for blocking help. Gets it. Nice return. Or is it? I said Mark Barron. We've got 2 4s. This is Marquise Mays. And he double numbers. 1 on offense, 1 on defense. This would be the guy who spells his name M-A-Z-E. Now it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
Well, 9 for 9 in any sport is good, but when your quarterback is 9 for 9 and 3 touchdowns, you know it's really good. In the first half, the first one, but this run right here by Garcia, I think is the one that stunned this Alabama defense. He comes right back with a wonderful throw to the outside with a touchdown that Barron misjudged, and then the perfect fade pass. 3 touchdowns, 9 for 9. If I was South Carolina here on defense, I would hug up on the backs. Alabama is notorious for going with the screen pass to try to set up their drives.
Now McElroy so far in this game, 13 of 15 for 102 yards, but Alabama's ground game has been almost non-existent, 35 yards. 2 great running backs, not a factor so far. Here's McElroy. Down the middle, Julio Jones.
Great catch.
Oh, was it ever, at the 22-yard line. 18-yard gain in front of Swearinger.
Ball was slightly behind, but that's where Julio Jones shows why a lot of people say he's the best, one of the best 2 or 3 receivers in the country.
No huddle offense. Here's McElroy. Right side, out of bounds with the completion. That's Preston Dial, number 85 again, and that does stop the clock with 1:41 to go.
Do you think McElroy's heartbeat is even up like a half a beat? I don't think so. I mean, he is so calm in these situations.
And 15 of 17 This was admittedly his worst game last year. And they had to rely on Ingram. Now McElroy trying to bring his team back. 15 of 17, 127. Right side again, incomplete. Well, Greg McElroy in this game against South Carolina a year ago. 50% for only 92 yards, intercepted twice. It was the low point for him all of last season, and then it kind of lifted the weight away, and he led his team, helped lead his team to the national title.
Key 3rd and 3 play, and Julio Jones had to leave the field. He's not out there.
McElroy, right side again to the 10-yard line. That's going to be a first down. They'll stop the clock now.
Tell you, the guy's just a safety net, safety blanket, pacifier, whatever you want. Just look for that little short guy, the tight end, make a first down with 85.
Preston Dial made the catch. He goes to the bench. He's caught 5 already.
Still no Julio Jones.
Michael Williams came in, the tight end. Handoff, right side, good block. Not much.
Plenty of time, plenty of timeouts left for Alabama.
1:10. Julio Jones is going to come back now. Had a knee injury, a sore knee, sustained last week in the win over Florida, but told us last night he's 100%.
He's got a good matchup against Chris Culliver to the outside, number 17, a former wide receiver that's been moved to the corner.
On second down, McElroy. Hit as he lets it go. Fumble, no, incomplete pass.
His arm was coming forward, but he tried to hold on to the ball. Was it Devin Taylor, number 98, that came in?
I think so.
Watch him hit the ball. McElroy loses it. That's a good call. Chris Culliver was a safety last year, a wide receiver the year before, and now he's one-on-one against your best receiver to the outside.
And Julio Jones heads back to that spot. Timeout called. South Carolina calls the timeout. And so we take a break with 44 seconds to go first half.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up with the Geico halftime report, Spencer Phillip and I will get you caught up on all of the action today, including Georgia avoiding their worst start since 1905. 4 touchdowns for Aaron Murray, 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. This one to A.J. Green. Now let's get you back to Alabama, South Carolina.
All right, Steve Spurrier has challenged the last play. The ruling was an incomplete pass.
Question is from Steve, did Devin Taylor hit the ball out of the hand? He clearly hit the face and arm of Greg McElroy, but his arm was moving forward the whole time. I just don't think he's going to get that one. Watch him. I think he hits his face or helmet first. He does. And then his hand keeps going and he slips out of his hand. That's going to stand.
I'll make it a 2-0 vote.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
See, watch the ball go forward. He might be trying to stop it, but his hand is moving forward. How could you read the intent of that play? So from our replay booth.
Yes, that's right. Unanimity way up in Williams-Brice Stadium. Here's Matt Moore. Or not yet. Now Matt Moore.
The previous play was reviewed, and the call is confirmed. Incomplete pass, 3rd down.
McElroy back on the field.
This is really interesting. South Carolina has now put a smaller guy. C.C. Whitlock is now on Julio Jones. The other call could be a screen.
McElroy looking deep in the end zone. Caught. That is an Alabama touchdown. The reception by Julio Jones.
I don't understand that for South Carolina. You put one of your smallest guys on the field on their tallest guy. You have to throw it to him.
And that's seen Greg McElroy's intent from the time he got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, you wouldn't get in Oxford if he didn't throw that one to Julio Jones.
Let it battle.
Here's Jeremy Shelley, who missed a 31-yard. Oh, my goodness. Oh!
Remember Lee Tiffin when he was a freshman against Arkansas?
I sure do. Missed 3 field goals and an extra point.
Well, this guy's a freshman too, and the pressure is huge. Bad hold here. And when he gets it down, the timing wasn't right, and snap was bad, hold was bad, and kick was bad.
Well, let's share the responsibility. Carson Tinker, the snapper. A.J. Holder, McCarron, the holder.
One-on-one. Short guy against a tall guy. Put it up high, easy as can be.
Seconds to go, first half, 21-9. The missed extra point from Shelley. And a reminder, we'll go back to New York here shortly for the Geico halftime report. Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman, Coach Philip Fulmer in the studio today.
I'll tell you, that's a big difference. You know, the difference between 11 points and 12 points is 2 possessions and 3 possessions, or you have to go for 2. You know, I mean, twice, baby. 2 touchdowns.
Kate Foster will kick off for the Crimson Tide. 21-9. This one driven deep. Culliver, he thought about it. The missed extra point. Gary brought up Lee Tiffin right away. That happened at Arkansas in an overtime loss.
Didn't get a good spiral. I used to hold. Those are tough when they knuckle back to you as a holder. Still your job to put it down. He got it down, but real late for a shaky young kicker.
That is Carson Tinker, the snapper. And among the mistakes today, McElroy with a lost fumble. Shelley has missed a field goal and an extra point.
You know, it was really big, that holding penalty down here when they had the ball back, South Carolina, on D.L. Moore.
Yes.
That's what gave Alabama another opportunity.
And off left side, that's Lattimore again. And he's nearing 50 yards for the afternoon, now with 9 carries, 47 yards. McElroy, just thinking, remember he told us he had to complete his Rhodes Scholarship application, the presentation last Sunday night, and he had done 8 or 9 drafts, and he got dinged in the head Saturday afternoon.
That's a good thesis. How can you go 17 for 21 and be losing at halftime?
There you are. Well, because the other guy threw 3 touchdown passes.
There you go.
So blame it on the defense. What are you guys thinking? (21-9). We go to Tracy Wolfson and Nick Saban.
Coach, you got those points there, but a lot of mistakes both offensively and defensively. Is it something South Carolina's doing, or is the pressure of this 3-game stretch getting to them?
Do a better job in the red area. We've had the ball down there several times. We missed a field goal. We're not converting to touchdowns. I mean, the last time we scored, missed the extra point. And defensively, we got to play better. I mean, we're just not executing at all, making a lot of mental errors, not tackling very well. So if we don't do that, we're not going to get them stopped. But, you know, I think we can. We're moving the ball okay on offense. We just got to convert in the red zone.
Thanks a lot. Vern, back to you.
Tracy, thank you. That's the end of the first half with our score 21-9 South Carolina. Let's go to Tim Brando in our New York studio.
All right, Vern, coming up with the Geico halftime report, Spencer, Philip Fulmer, and I will have all of today's action, including bad blood in the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe, after this word from your local station.
We're at halftime in Columbia, South Carolina. The Gamecocks lead Alabama 21-9. Wednesday on Showtime, JB, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, and Warren Sapp come your way on cable's longest running show, the multi-award winning Inside the NFL. every Wednesday on Showtime. Now let's go down to Tracy Wolfson for this SEC moment presented by Sonic.
Vern, in 2001, South Carolina faced off with Alabama in front of a packed house looking for their first ever win against the Tide after 10 losses. In fact, Alabama was the only SEC team that Carolina had never beaten. After being dominated for 3 quarters, the Gamecocks came alive. Lou Holtz's team scored 2 touchdowns in the game's final 6 minutes as the clock hit 0. Down came the goalpost as South Carolina celebrated a wild 37-36 victory. And Vern, will we see that scene again today?
I was just thinking the same thing. I bet the security guys are going to try and keep the crowd from storming the field. But if South Carolina holds on, oh baby. We'll return right after these messages. South Carolina Gamecocks leading top-ranked Alabama. At the break, 21-9, we get set for the kickoff to start the third quarter. Moments ago, Tracy Wolfson with Steve Spurrier.
Coach, you're up 12 on the #1 team in the country. You've limited them to just 37 yards rushing. What has been the key for you in the first half?
Well, we've sort of bent but not break, but hopefully offensively we can stay out here a while, let our defensive guys rest a bit. But there's a lot of ball left, as we know, so we got to really play well.
You've seen Alabama come from behind like this year. What did you remind your team in the locker room?
No, we're just going to try to play all day, and we'll look at the scoreboard at the end.
Thanks.
Okay.
I just love having him in college football.
Yeah, I think it was okay, no matter if we had a third question or not. He's out there ready to call plays.
Yeah, that conversation had ended. Tracy was ready.
I know.
The Wolf had the third question.
But, I mean, Steve's ready to go call plays. He gets the ball.
Chris Culliver is back. Cade Foster will kick off. And Culliver grabs it, and oh, he fumbles it. Actually a muff, and he returns it out to the 19-yard line. But that's not at all the way Steve Spurrier envisioned this third quarter beginning. South Carolina so very impressive offensively at the beginning of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you got a hot quarterback, and I think that's what Steve has been saying to his quarterback all along. You got a good offense. You got playmakers and wide receiver. Now we got you a running back. Just hit the easy throws, and we can move the ball against anybody. But it's good. You just know it's going to get dicey here. I mean, this is not going to be easy. You know, I mean, it's a 12-point game. The touchdown goal for 2 and field goal is kind of out of it. It's going to take Alabama 2 touchdowns.
On first down, blitz. Fumble. Garcia throws it for a safety. Well, there goes the missed extra point.
I thought he could have thrown it away. That is huge. Makes it a 10-point game.
Right through his hands. I don't think it was over his head. Well, it was a high snap, certainly.
Right, and he was on the 3-yard line when he threw that away.
T.J. Johnson and Garcia didn't hesitate.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
safety.
First down, just fall down. You can punt the ball. My.
The leash got tighter. I don't care if you have hit 3 touchdowns.
Absolutely. And what did we say? This is going to get dicey?
Yeah. Prophetic. That didn't take long. A muffed kickoff return by Culliver. A snap that Garcia. It was admittedly high from T.J. Johnson, but I think catchable, controllable.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was a fastball,
yeah, it was.
I just thought he could have fallen down at the 2 or 3 yard line.
Well, the cock has crowed. Try to get him fired up again because the
what a difference in this ball game now.
Oh my gosh.
Don't have to go for 2, 10 points. Much different feeling for Alabama. Get the ball. Look, they're going to get great field position here.
Free kick is taken and grabbed at the 17-yard line by Marquise Mays. Out near the 50.
I'm just struck again. Steve said we want to hold the ball a little bit and give our defense some time. Not even one play.
Right.
Not even one play. They didn't hold the ball for them.
Another look at the snap and the failure to hang on to it. It was hard and high.
It was. Can't blame him for that one. But the rest of it, please, make a play for me. Let us punt it at least.
Snap to McElroy. Hand off Ingram. He seems energized, doesn't he?
And now these guys, Ingram and Richardson, who didn't do a lot in the first half, think about it, to combine 13 carries for 41 yards. Now all of a sudden this South Carolina defense is going to get a taste of these two guys, I can tell you that.
That first down play good for 13 and a first down at the 39. Same formation. This time they'll try the left side. Ingram to the 35-yard line. And Gary, take a look at the game trends in this.
All the South Carolina fans in the press box were all smiling at halftime. They had their quarterback hot. McElroy, as good as he was playing, was not making the difference. They had these two guys under control, Ingram under control, and Alabama was making the mistakes, but now it's turned around.
Second down, two wides to the right, one to the left. Here's McElroy. He goes right side. He was going there all along. Darius Hanks makes the grab, but good defense by Stephon Gilmore, number 5.
You know what else should have opened up for Alabama? Because of the success for Julio Jones on the last touchdown, that should force help to the outside. That safety's going to have to back up, and that means everybody else is that much better.
3rd and 3. 10-point game. Early moments, second half.
And the way they're kicking, you got to figure they're going to go for it both downs here.
Here's the change from McElroy. On the ground, Ingram. Oh, boy, he was popped up high by Josh Dickerson. Number 41 was the first man up high, and then Swearinger came in to complete the tackle.
Going behind Carpenter. Nice block by Carpenter. Cuts inside, and Chance Mormack right there gets his man enough for a measurement. Inches either way again, huh?
Yeah, it sure is.
I guess that's why they measure. Highly paid analyst here.
Astute observation. 4th down.
There's no doubt that that call on 3rd down, Alabama knew they were going to go for it on 4th down.
Remember how they cinched the win on the road in Arkansas, 4th down and 1 after a timeout? It was McElroy on the quarterback sneak to secure a 4-point victory. Everybody in tight. And McElroy takes it over left guard. Last time in Arkansas, they went over right guard. And he appears to have it. Yes, he does.
You know, it is interesting. A lot of pressure on Alabama. We talked about this coming into the football game, keeping their streak, #1 team, coming to this hostile environment here in South Carolina. But sometimes being behind kind of frees you up. You know, what do you got to lose now? I mean, we just got to play ball and get back in the game.
Garcia threw it through the end zone after a bad snap for his safety on the first play offensively for South Carolina in this half. Here's McElroy. Looks deep. Nobody there. And he doesn't get much. Boy, maybe a yard. Trevian Robertson, number 42, was with McElroy the whole way.
Yeah, I think he wanted to go to Darius Hanks, number 15, but I don't think there was anything there. Hanks, if he'd have stayed in the middle of the field, was okay, but his route called him to come to the outside. Watch Hanks, the middle's wide open, but he has to veer to the outside, and the corner's going to set right on that throw.
Second down 10. Preston Dial goes wide right, or tight right. South Carolina brings 5. Play fake to Richardson. McElroy. Caught from behind by Stephon Gilmore at the 29-yard line.
Well, their big play guys have been making big plays. Jeffrey's done it. Lattimore's done it. And now the corner from the right side of the screen runs right through the block by Richardson. Not a very good block. That's a corner running around your pass blocker there.
Loss of 2, 3rd and 12. That's the 5th sack for South Carolina this afternoon.
Alabama always has 5 all year, just to give you a perspective. There's a screen.
Right side, Richardson spins and will not get it.
So what do?
Oh, boy.
I think if you're Nick, you just got to call the field goal team. You just say, hey, I got to coach it the way you coach it. You can't coach around your kicker. At least he misses another one.
Well, he is the so-called short kicker, Jeremy Shelley. Number 90 has missed one from 31 and missed an extra point. That one involved a bad snap and a difficult hold. This is from 39. This would be his career long. Cuts inside. I bet he feels a little better.
He sure does.
So there's an exchange. And Shelley cuts it to a 7-point game with a 39-yard field goal. This crowd stunned by the developments here in the third quarter. This overwhelmingly South Carolina fan base. And these overhead shots being brought to you on CBS Sports by MetLife.
And here's what's evolving also, Vern. Now Alabama has run 47 plays against South Carolina's 22. That was flopped last year, but you can start to see. Remember, they wore down late last year against that last drive. What is it going to mean this year?
Kate Foster's kick. Culliver muffed the last one. Takes this one 2 yards into the end zone. Will bring it back out. And he's nailed before he gets to the 20-yard line. The tackle made by number 46, Wesley Neighbors. And the ball had been whistled dead. Well, South Carolina trying to hit the trifecta this year, topping #1 teams already. The basketball team in January knocked off then-ranked #1 Kentucky. Baseball defeated then #1 Arizona State. They went on to win the World Series, by the way. And that brings us to the Duck. And the question of the week, the last school to defeat #1 ranked teams in football, basketball, and baseball. Quick snap. Lattimore gets it. Number 21. They don't waste time, do they? They line up and come at you quickly.
Want to get that safety out of their system, I guess. I think they got to go back to their playmakers here. Lattimore and Jeffrey.
Now, that little footnote to all of this, no running back has rushed over 100 yards in 39 games. Here's the pass, incomplete. And that's going to bring up a third down. And that's Garcia's first incomplete pass of the ball.
Yeah, and that one wasn't just his fault. You got a young running back who's reading an option-type route where he either settles in the zone or keeps going. Garcia thought he'd keep going, and the young running back stopped. That's what happens.
Third down 8.
Now, and they're going against the best third down defense the last 3 years in college football. 08, 09, and 10. 28%, 30%, and 26% so far this year.
Empty backfield, 5, 3 wide to the right. On third down 8. Alabama brings 5. There's pressure in the face, and the catch is made for the first down by Alshon Jeffery.
Yep, guess who? Just go to your guys. And that's why you recruited these guys. They are the 3 guys on the field, Vern. There's 3 guys on the field that could play for anyone. Alshon Jeffery is a tough matchup in any league. He comes across and catches it with his hands, and that was a good throw by Garcia.
Here's a handoff right side, and the attempted breaking of tackles, but not to be. This was Brian Maddox with his first carry. Number 2 runner a year ago behind Kenny Miles. He's been moved to fullback this season. Maddox, number 10.
You know, it's interesting. We gave the stats for Alabama's third down defense, which is the best in college football. But the third down offense for South Carolina has been going at 55% this year. So they're very effective on third down.
Late sub, problems. And
Alabama took a timeout to save it. Yep.
Wow, that looked like Tennessee LSU there for a moment. Guys running on, guys running off. Time taken. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper, John Hancock, Red Lobster, and by Nissan. And now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athlete, the offensive lineman for South Carolina, Garrett Chisholm. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future shown today by donating $1,000 to the University of South Carolina's General Scholarship Fund. Second down, 12. There's Garrett Chisholm. And Garcia out of the spread. 4 wide receivers, 3 right. Garcia underneath Maddox.
Same play they scored on.
It sure was.
Yep. See the center, T.J. Johnson. Let's go back to the last third down throw because we were a little rough on Steven Garcia for the safety. But watch this third down throw. Marcel Darius is coming at you full speed. He's 310 pounds, and he's not going to slow down.
Right.
He stood right in there and made that great throw.
That was good for a 12-yard gain. Now they need 10 on third down. Alabama, Kirby Smart, the coordinator, goes with 3 down. So let's see if they rush more than 3. They will rush 4. Right side, Alshon Jeffery. And with that little extra tug, he might have gotten enough to move the chain again.
Well, 2 things on this play as you watch Courtney Upshaw, who's been very quiet in this game. Jeffrey's a nightmare mismatch for the Alabama corners coming across. And Courtney Upshaw, who was all over the field against Florida, has been very quiet. Vern, I told you in warm-ups, he was very ginger out there with that high ankle sprain. He rushed on that pass rush. You could see his right ankle taped severely, and he had nothing. He's had nothing so far in this football game.
That is good for a first down. So back-to-back third down conversions and third and long. And Upshaw with the high ankle sprain. He had just a wonderfully effective game last Saturday night with 4 tackles for loss. The most obvious publicized stat.
Those high ankle sprains, they just don't go away, especially when you got to keep playing and pushing and pushing.
First down 10, South Carolina. 6:52 to go. Third quarter, 21-14. Garcia, Lattimore remains on the bench, and he's getting attention, or was, from the trainers down near the 30-yard line. And we've got a quick update from Tracy. Trace?
Well, guys, they were looking at Lattimore's left forearm. He just put a sleeve on that elbow. They've thrown the ball a few times to see if he can hold on to it without any pain, and then they tried to pull it out of him to see if they would be able to pull the ball out without that bothering him. He's right back on the sideline and about to get in, guys.
Well, in the meantime, Brian Maddox, who carried only twice in the loss down at Auburn, with a little surge at the end of the play, picked up 9 and a first down.
Well, that little surge, as you called it, I mean, when your backup goes in there and produces that, first of all, DeMarco had a good block and the end man on the line of scrimmage, and then kind of came in and cleaned it up. The captain, the tight end slash fullback, really led on that play.
Out of the spread. DeMarco and Maddox in the backfield. Here's Garcia. Had to grab hold of it because he was about to lose control of the football. Marcel Darius.
Yeah. How do you say the guy's good? Coming off the end, just a complete fan by Kyle Nunn. He gets his head forward on the play, and he just couldn't make the play at all.
That's a loss of 5. 2nd down and 5. Alabama came in with 5 sacks for the season. 5 in 5 games. Nick Saban telling us we just haven't been getting enough pressure. Out in the left flat, this is Maddox. It's going to be 3rd and 9. They've overcome a 3rd and 12, a 3rd and 9, and DeMarcus Milliner, who was injured earlier, is back on the field and made the tackle.
Let me apologize to Kyle Nunn and his family. That was Eckerson in number 66 in there on that play. They got beat for the sack.
On behalf of the Nunn family.
Yes, I'll take it.
Accepted. All right. 3rd down. Here we go again.
I should have just said right tackle.
Yeah. Go for the generic when you count. Alshon Jeffery in the slot.
Very odd look over here. Only 2 defenders and 3 receivers for Alabama. I think they were misaligned.
That's Darrington Centimore, number 94, the redshirt freshman. And was it Etcherson? Here we go.
Start of the snap. Offsides. Number 94. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's like the 4th time. You know, what, 3 times they've lined up and 1 time they've jumped off sides. Remember last year against South Carolina at home, I think they had 10 or 11 penalties, if I remember right, in that football game. And I think 4 or 5 of them were on special teams that really hurt field position for the Crimson Tide.
So now, 3rd and 5. Garcia under center. DeMarco moves inside. There's a pass caught. Torrey Gurley, number 81. Right in front of Daquan Menzie. That's a gain of 10. And it is the 4th 3rd down conversion on this current drive.
Well, you can't beat a guy by more than that on a 5-yard route. You beat him by 6 yards. Menzie wasn't even close on a 3rd and 5. And I know one thing, watching practice at Alabama, Nick Saban and Kirby Smart challenge their defensive backs to get up and challenge the receiver. Don't play it safe and back off.
Garcia with some pretty gaudy stats in this game. 14 to 15. Here's Maddox. Mark Barron gets him, but it is another gallop and a 1st down after a 17-yard gain.
Remember, this was the play, the ride play that Garcia kept before and kept it. But how about South Carolina? After the 1-play drive and safety, they've come back now 12 plays on this drive. 6 run and 6 pass.
And 4 conversions of 3rd and long. 3rd and 8 or more.
Against the best in the business.
Yes. Draw play. Lattimore. 1st down goal, South Carolina.
DeMarco had a great block on this one. Watch number 47, the captain, Patrick DeMarco, cleans up inside on Hightower. That is a fullback and a leader and a captain making the play to spring his running back.
They'll ride it up the middle. Lattimore, close.
There's a flag on this one, too.
Yes.
This one might not look right. Number of players, illegal substitutions, everything involved. A quick snap that time by South Carolina. I will say, Vern, this is the toughest spot on the field for the defense to substitute. It's a long run, and they have to react to the
Prior to
offense.
the snap. Substitution infraction. 12 men on the field on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Now remember, South Carolina did not substitute, so they have every right to quick snap this ball as everybody runs off the field. They smartly quick snapped it and caught Alabama in a change.
Penalty declined, 1st and goal. Garcia 5 yards back. 3 wides to the right. Now up under center, tries the quarterback sneak and is stopped.
I think they took the penalty, though, Vern, because it was first down afterwards.
And we look again at the Verizon red zone.
So they took the penalty. That was first down. Now they're at 2nd down.
They did take it. You're right. Sorry. Pitch. Touchdown, Lattimore. A terrific block at the goal line.
Ryan DeMarco again.
Patrick DeMarco.
Patrick DeMarco again.
What a terrific example of gathering yourself and getting right back into the, not into it, extending the lead. It looked like it was all going Alabama's way. They had one play, it was a safety, and they come back 82 yards, 15 plays, and chewed almost 8 minutes off the clock.
The fullback's job is to take the outside leg of the linebacker. Watch him take the outside leg of Nico Johnson. Throw to the outside leg. That is option fullback. Football. Steve Spurrier, 15 plays, and he ends it with an option. What is this?
(28-14) now after that 15-play drive. And the towels are back. And the answer to the Aflac trivia question, the last school to defeat top-ranked teams, football, basketball, and baseball, Florida in 2007. They knocked off Ohio State. Football, basketball, defeated Ohio State in the championship game, and in baseball, defeated #1 Florida State twice in the regular season. South Carolina with a chance to equal that accomplishment. Here's the kickoff. Richardson. Yep. Nope. Now let's go back to the studio for this John Hancock update. Here's Tim.
Vern, back in the summer in August, your partner said Michigan State's going to get to 7-0 to start this season because they play their first 7 in Michigan. Well, after the second interception was thrown by Denard Robinson in the red zone, Larry Caper takes it up the middle for 2 yards, and Sparty's opened up a 21-point lead. If they win this one, they'll get to 6-0. 7-0 would be Illinois if they could beat them next week. Back to you.
Tim, it's duly noted here. Duly noted and somewhat celebrated in the booth. But down on the sideline, Tracy is going, oh no, as a Wolverine alone. 28-14, 96 seconds to go in the third. McElroy, right. Caught by Marquise Mays.
Well, Vern, Steven Garcia is having the game of his life.
Ooh,
right?
is he ever?
I mean, he's made one mental mistake, and then he's come out and atoned for it in that last drive. But this guy on the other side, as we look at Steven right there, you cannot shake Greg McElroy. I'm telling you, we've watched it. It doesn't get any tougher than going against Auburn when everything is on the line, and he pulled off that last drive. There's still plenty of football left in this game.
That was a year ago. He has said that was his career-defining drive. Here's McElroy under pressure.
Got him.
Oh, yes, he does. It's the tight end, Michael Williams, across the 50.
Smart play by Williams. He ran out of real estate, and once he saw the quarterback quarterback scramble towards him, that's what you're taught. This just doesn't happen by chance. You're taught when the scramble quarterback comes your way, turn up and go down the sideline because it's vision for the quarterback right in front of you.
That is the first catch this afternoon from Michael Williams. He had a touchdown grab against Florida last week on the Wildcat play from Marquise Mays. 32-yard gain, first down. Man, oh man.
Throw it away.
Rodney Paulk, number 45.
Greg is a deep thinker. Sometimes he tries to do a little bit too much, like we all do, and he got caught with this one. But you know what? He makes so many good plays. Sometimes as a coach, you got to live with one of those.
Look at this South Carolina bunch. How about it? That's the end of 3. 28-14. We'll return to Williams-Brice Stadium right after this word from your local station. This scene's growing familiar, is it not? My goodness. We're back at Williams-Brice Stadium, Columbia, South Carolina. We begin the fourth with the Gamecocks leading the top-ranked team in the country, 28-14. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, and a heck of a ball game. Second down and 14. 4 down for South Carolina. They rush 3. McElroy, he's got Darius Hanks at the 30, splits the defense and heads for the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama, 51 yards.
Well, we were going to do it on camera, weren't we, Vern?
Yes.
And I was going to say, I know one thing. Alabama will not crack mentally. And you can jump around all you want if you're a fan. But if you're a player, you have to pay attention to detail. There is no excuse for letting a guy gash you that deep for a touchdown like that.
Shelley on for the extra point. He has missed 1 today. A.J. McCarron will hold. This one is perfect. Darius Hanks, 51 yards.
Yeah, a double. Both receivers were really tight in the formation. Bunching up. Julio Jones and Hanks. Julio Jones goes outside. It's a bust in the secondary. A bust that costs us. Devontae Holloman, number 21, is the guy who went with the wrong one. And you knew McElroy wasn't going to panic at all, and he didn't.
28-21. That did not take long. 9 seconds, first play of the final quarter. Darius Hanks, first catch of the day.
Well, the 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen will show you what happened. You have to know where your help is. The deep safety, Holloman should know where his help is. Right there's his help to the outside. Now watch. He goes to the outside. Both players take one guy, leave the other one in the middle, and that's an easy touchdown that could have been, at least it would have been a completion, but you can't give him a touchdown.
McElroy for the day, 22 of 26 for 241 yards. Cade Foster will kick off. Culliver is the deep man for the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Low kick right through the end zone. Touchback. That's coming out. to the 20-yard line. Well, one play into the fourth quarter. Mr. Danielson, I'm reminded of a Robert De Niro, Billy Crystal movie. Analyze this.
Yeah. Well, you have to keep your wits about you. I mean, this is when it gets wild. The crowd can do what they want. You jump and run in between that third and fourth quarter. You saw everybody go wild, but the players on the field have to calm down. You knew, like I said, Alabama's been here.
Right.
But you as the team that wants to knock them off have to just calm down, go through fundamentals, assignments. Get yourself in the right position if you have any chance to win.
Amazing comparison between these two quarterbacks. Here's Garcia, quick setup inside, knocked down.
That was knocked down out front that time. Was it Chapman? Josh Chapman
Yes,
up front?
it was. Yep. Chapman, who replaced a large man, Terrence Cody, at that position for Alabama.
And those are the guys, Vern, on those quick slants that really do need to help your corners, because when you're throwing short, those are the ones that you can't affect as a defensive lineman. Courtney Upshaw's back in the game.
Garcia, little underneath pattern.
He isn't doing much, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Out to the 26. Ace Sanders, number 9, makes the stop.
It's number 41, but it's not the speed of 41 we saw last week.
Third down and 4. Sanders' third catch.
Here's the matchup. Will Kirby Smart blitz Garcia?
Garcia peers over at Steve Spurrier. And again, a quick setup. And there's Jeffries. It's intercepted. Picked off by Will Lowry. A walk-on, number 29. His second interception of the year.
Actually, it was a good call. A stop fade to Jeffries. But I think the corner got his hand in there and flipped the ball up. Milner did. His left hand. Did you see that? The guy who got beat earlier did not lose his wits about him. Turned back and just like he's taught to do, used his left hand to flip the ball away from the receiver. That was good execution by Garcia. You cannot blame him on that one. Better play by Alabama.
And Alabama has it 37 yards away. McElroy, play fake. Out to the left, it's Julio Jones. Looks for block, and he gets one from Hanks. A little bit of a brush block, but it got him enough to get the first down. Let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
All right, Vern. Well, Taylor Martinez was incredible on Thursday night. He rushed for 242 yards, 5 total touchdowns as the Huskers rolled against K-State. And today, Ohio State's quarterback Terrell Pryor had a career-high 334 yards passing, and Russell Wilson turned the tables for NC State. Back to you.
First down, 10 inside the 25. Ingram hasn't done much in this game. That's his 11th carry. Chris Culliver makes the tackle, number 17. And Ingram now with 41 yards. He and Trent Richardson have not been fast and furious today. Well, Auburn was down by 13 in the second quarter, and South Carolina wound up losing 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter for that one.
They led it at the end of the third quarter and lost that football game.
And they turned it over once in this quarter. Second down, 5. 7-point game.
I'll tell you, a hitch and go would really work here.
Blitz threatened, blitz coming. There's McElroy. Chased by Culliver. Third down.
Obviously, this ball was mishandled. There's going to be a quick screen to the outside or a pitch to Ingram, but it mishandled by McElroy, and he just had to get out of it.
Remember, he got hit by Duke Lemons last week. He gets hit this time by Culliver. It's third down in a 7-point game. On third downs, McElroy 5 of 6 so far. Gamecocks might be blitzing. They send only 4. McElroy dances, pulls up, caught and dropped. That is the 6th sack by the Gamecocks today.
Well, that is one that even Nick Saban will say, I wish you would have thrown away. That's field goal range right there. Don't have it. Nothing there. You're going to have to throw this ball away. You could dump it off, but you're not going to get a first down. Greg tries to make too much happen, and the corner blitz, Gilmore is the guy that gets him. That was blocked well by Alabama.
DJ Fluker, the right tackle, limping off. It's 4th and 11.
Remember, it was 2nd and about 4 or 5. You've got Ingram and Richardson, and they tried 2 straight passes.
Well, they're going to bring Shelley out again. He's missed from 31. He's made from 32 and 39. This one is 42 and would extend his career long.
Quarterback.
A.J. McCarron dropped. Oh, my goodness.
He was not going to make it, though. He was not going to make the first down. This was well defended by South Carolina.
That's Ed Stinson, number 47, backup linebacker.
McCarron, the backup quarterback, but watch, South Carolina was all over this play. Tony Straughter, number 44, is the guy that was all over it, and even if it was completed, it was not for a first down.
And now, it's time for our Geico game recap.
Alabama's opening drive, a Shelley 32-yard field goal. They go up 3-0. South Carolina came right back. Steven Garcia, 3 first-half touchdowns, 2 caught by Alshon Jeffery. This was one of them. Alabama had all kinds of miscues in the first half of play. Finally, Julio Jones caught this 8-yard touchdown. The extra point was missed. It was 21-9. And then opening play from scrimmage in the second half, Garcia fumbled the snap, threw it through the end zone, safety. Ultimately, that led to this Shelley 39-yard field goal, his career long. And Lattimore increased the lead 28-14. That was at the end of a 15-play drive. 3 third-down conversions en route. And Darius Hanks caught a 51-yard touchdown from Greg McElroy to cut it to 28-21. And just a moment ago before the break, fake field goal, unsuccessful. South Carolina has a first down 10 at the 26. Garcia, handoff. Ace Sanders run out of bounds, lost a couple of yards.
Well, let's think about what happened here. Remember back in the Arkansas game, Nick Saban was trailing 20-14 in the fourth quarter, and they kicked the 35-yard field goal to come within 3. Look at the effect of the missed extra point. Because he's down 7, even though it was 4th and 11, he decided to try to manufacture something. South Carolina sniffed it out, and that's a big change. And, you know, he kicked that field goal plenty long enough. He was within range.
After the loss on the last play, here's Garcia. Not much pressure. Across the middle, Alshon Jeffery breaks a tackle. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2. He's out to the 34-yard line. Mark Barron with the tackle.
Good pass protection that time for Garcia to step into that one and go to his big receiver. Now what do you do? Yeah, go quick huddle.
On 3rd down. The need is only 1.
Lattimore's not in the game.
Close. Ooh, I don't think he got a great spot. That's just across the 35. Josh Chapman defending. Yeah. That murmuring you hear from the crowd comes from those who thought the spot was not very generous either.
Yeah, coming from the backside. Actually, basically an on-block player on the play because it's that zone read, and he did not go for Garcia.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, you got to go for it, don't you? You've never beaten the #1 team in the country. You've never won. You're trying to turn the program around. Don't you have to make 3 inches?
I think so, and I think that's what Steve Spurrier thinks. So Maddox stays in. They do have Lattimore. Now he's got to call time.
Boy, he had a full 25 seconds.
Be right back. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV, Coke Zero, Buffalo Wild Wings, and by Progressive Insurance. 4th down, maybe 3 inches. South Carolina is going to go for it.
Well, you might think quarterback sneak, but think back to the last quarterback sneak near the goal line. Remember, he lost yardage on that one and then running the option on the next one for the touchdown.
Now he's got Maddox, and Marcus Lattimore has not seen much action here in the last few minutes. He is on the bench. So 4th. And they bunch up 4 receivers, top of the screen, wide to the right. So 3 defenders out there. Garcia, sneak, second effort. Appears to have enough. I love Spurrier. 4th down and 3 inches to go, and he runs a bunch formation.
Yeah, but he knew that no matter what, he was not going to get any type of reduction up front. It was basically still the same look. Garcia with his second effort got that one.
1st down and 10 with 9:52 to go. Lattimore is in the lineup, and that time tackled. But a good gain. He's out to the 43-yard line. The tackle made by Mark Barron. That's a pickup of 7.
Well, South Carolina has outrushed Alabama in this football game. I don't think I ever would have thought that. 86 yards to 51 yards so far in this football game. And I know Steve right now is thinking, I don't think my defense can stop him any longer. I'm going to have to score another touchdown.
2nd and 3, 9:15 to go. Patrick DeMarco, number 47, comes near side. Handoff up the middle. Lattimore. Menzie makes the tackle, moves the chain.
So what does Kirby Smart do now? The 2 big guys are sitting on the bench, and you start having to bring, if you're Kirby Smart, some run blitzes from the secondary and gamble a little bit and go one-on-one and force them to throw the ball.
8:45 to go. 2 wides to the right side.
Here comes a run blitz.
Quick setup. Down the right side. Caught. Jeffery. Foot race. Out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
Can he catch us with one hand? This was the perfect read. He's going up against Trey Kirkpatrick. Good coverage. One hand. As Kirkpatrick had his jersey, Alshon went up and caught it with his other hand. Kirkpatrick did everything he could. Interfered, covered him, and did everything. And sometimes their guy's better than your guy.
That's a gain of 45 and a 1st and goal, South Carolina. Left side, Lattimore to the 2, maybe the 1. Well, they're 0-4 against number ones. Back in 1981, they knocked off third-ranked North Carolina. You know who was the star of that team? Lawrence Taylor for North Carolina. Lattimore, no.
Should have kept it. Garcia should have kept that one. That's a read. Lattimore has 6 touchdowns on the year. And now 7 with the pass reception. He has 6 others coming into the game. His longest run has been 7 yards. So he's pretty good down here.
Third down and goal.
This is the formation they ran the option before. Remember with DeMarco in there?
Play clock at 3. Lattimore. Touchdown, South Carolina.
Could take on Ingram and Richardson. Now Lattimore has 17 carries for 79 yards. The combination of Ingram and Richardson has 17 carries for 64 yards.
Extra point from Spencer Lanning. Up. Got it. Lattimore twice led his Burns High School team to a state championship. He is from Duncan, South Carolina, about 75 miles northwest of Columbia. Lattimore gets the TD. You'll understand if we sound a little confused, but next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time, we will be either in Auburn or in Gainesville or in Lexington. Decision to be made tomorrow. We don't know where we're going, but we do know it all begins with the TIAA Craft College Football Today show with Tim and Spencer back in New York, 3 o'clock next week.
This is pretty stunning for Alabama, don't you think, Vern? I mean, they've given up 45 points all year, 35 today.
I thought when they got to 28-21, there was just a feeling of inexorability about it.
Never heard me mention momentum, though.
No.
In the 20 years I've been doing it, you just got to get back out there and do another drive.
The kick. Richardson. DJ Swearinger. Well, let's take a look at the rushing yard comparison. How about this?
They both combined have carried the ball 17 times. Lattimore has carried it 17 times himself. We didn't know if he could do it, but he had to do it for them to win.
Well, you think back to Florida's great teams with that guy, the coach, and I'm reminded of how well they played, you know, when they had a good running back.
Right.
Spurrier paid Lattimore one of the ultimate compliments. He said he reminds him of Emmitt Smith. McElroy, wide open, Julio Jones.
Great route by Julio Jones that time. Just turned Stephen Gilmore around on the play. Now let's settle down here a little bit. If you're an Alabama fan or if you're a South Carolina fan, you think it's over, it's not. Plenty of time. Great route by Julio. 6:30 to go. 4 down territory. Alabama's not going to punt anymore. 2 timeouts left. Still plenty of time.
McElroy drills it. Almost picked off. Devontae Holloman, number 21. I know he had one hand on it. He might have had 2.
He said, you know what? I can almost make up for my bad play. They were playing a robber defense this time. Gave him a 2-deep shell, but one safety went on the crossing routes. The other safety went deep.
Last time McElroy lost, he was in the 8th grade. His middle school team in Southlake, Texas lost to Cross Timbers Middle School from Grapevine, Texas. 8-6 was the final. There was a safety involved in that one, too. McElroy across the middle, diving try, incomplete. Intended for Marquise Mays, 3rd and 10.
McElroy went to the right receiver that time, the correct receiver, should I say. 3-out-2 coverage. Mays goes right across the safety. A good throw would have been a big completion.
3rd and 10.
Remember, 4-down territory.
South Carolina rushes 4. McElroy nailed.
Not now. Melvin Ingram, I think, is the guy that got him on this one.
Yes.
They gave him a 3-man look, but Ingram got inside Carpenter on the left and made the play. Can't go for it on 4th and that long.
Among the stunning stats for the day, Alabama has suffered 7 sacks. And they will punt.
And they sacked Alabama last year 5 times. They sacked South Carolina last year 5 times. They've only given up 1 today.
Looks like we've got a delay of game flag.
Only offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Alabama with 1 sack. South Carolina now with 7. Stephon Gilmore is back, awaiting the punt. And this is a good one from Mandel. Gilmore chased over the shoulder catch inside the 20. Watch out. Chaos on the sidelines.
Yeah, nice discretion by Gilmore there. You just can't turn the ball over trying to do too much.
56-yard punt, 18 on the return. Gamecocks 5-15 away from knocking off number 1. Beautiful shots from up on high. Over Williams-Brice Stadium, Columbia, South Carolina. Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS, provided by MetLife. Well, this has been a teeter-totter in the second half.
First play of the second half, a safety, and everybody went, whoa, what's going to happen to South Carolina? Next time they got the ball, they drove it right down the field and scored a touchdown on the option play. Then Alabama answers. A long touchdown pass. Everybody goes, whoa, what are we going to do? They come right back, drive it down the field, and score another touchdown. Alshon Jeffery's had the big catch on that drive.
Alshon Jeffery, a 45-yard catch to give South Carolina a 1st and goal. Total yards, Alabama has the edge there, but means naught. 1st down. Now we'll have the Lattimore watch to see if he can crack 100 yards against this Alabama defense. That's his 18th carry, and he's now over 80 yards.
Yeah, Alabama's going to start using their timeouts.
Last regular season loss for Alabama at Auburn. Then they came through the 2008 season. Timeout has been called. They lost to Florida in the SEC championship game. Utah in the Sugar Bowl. They haven't lost since, but it looks a little dark right now. Tonight on CBS, it's a night of drama and mystery, beginning with NCIS, followed by The Defenders, and then a new edition of 48 Hours Mystery. That's tonight only CBS.
I think you're going to see Steven Garcia try to keep one of these. Fake the ride inside and see if he can get to the outside. Now, one thing he has to do is not fumble the ball. Get as much as you can and get on the ground if he does carry it.
He fumbled twice last game at Auburn in the 4th quarter. This time he gives it to Lattimore. pretty good option.
Oh, Nick Saban just went crazy on the sideline.
Because?
It must have been a busted assignment. All I can think of is somebody called the wrong stunt and they opened up the hole because this was just a little too easy. Mark Barron is the first guy there to make the tackle, and I would assume that the stunt he had on there didn't work.
Alabama has just used its final timeout. 35-21. We'll be right back. Third week in a row, Alabama has gone against really good offensive coaches. They won at Arkansas, Bobby Petrino. They won against Urban Meyer last week. And this afternoon, they are losing at South Carolina against Steve Spurrier. And the defense has given up 35 points. They came into this game yielding 9 per game through the first 5 and only 3 touchdowns. 3rd and 1. Garcia has Lattimore to his left. Lattimore with 88 yards so far today. Adds a couple.
And with the 40-second clock now, that means it's going to take another 2.5 minutes off the clock, even if they don't make a first down. Steve is definitely studying the clock now. Remember this, Vern, 16 seniors on this South Carolina football team. Yes, knocking off number 1 is one thing, but South Carolina has never been to the SEC championship. I don't think they're going to have a better chance. This is not vintage Florida, and they've knocked off Alabama.
They do have a game at Florida in November. 4:20 to go, 2 on the play clock. The snap, the handoff, nothing on this one. Now, one of the stars offensively for this team, Alshon Jeffery, the 6'4" sophomore for the day. Take us through it, Gary.
Well, we said Steven Garcia was going to need help, and he got it from his young stars. Alshon Jeffery, the great touchdown catch, but that one right there was just amazing as he just grabs it and sets up the touchdown. And when you think about Lattimore outrunning Ingram and Richardson combined, the running back, you can see the stars have come through. I also want to go back to South Carolina. Defense. Remember that interception. It was 28-21 at the 10-minute mark when Lowry intercepted that ball. They got to stop. Remember the 4th down fake field goal. The defense got to stop.
And now timeout has been called by the Gamecocks with 3:31 to go. Well, 4 times South Carolina has played the number 1 team. They've lost all 4. Last year, Florida came in here. They lost to Florida 24-14. In 1996, Steve Spurrier was at the helm at Florida, 52-25. We're going from bottom up. In 91, it was Florida State. They lost 38-10. And a few of us remember 1955 when they lost at Maryland 27-zip. They're 3.5 minutes away from knocking off the number 1 team in the land. Mark Ingram, Greg McElroy.
Remember, Alabama had it 2nd and 4, and they had 2 negative plays in a row that really forced that fake field goal.
Lattimore has 21 carries for 89 yards, and now he gets flag pre-snap.
Well, all year, Vern, also, if Alabama goes on to lose this game, everybody's been saying a 1-loss SEC team is still going to get in. But for that to happen, Ohio State, Oregon, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arizona, LSU, Michigan State, Auburn, there's a lot of big schools in front of them.
Prior to the snap, false start.
And that doesn't even count
the offense.
Boise.
2nd down.
Boise State and TCU.
Yeah.
Now, the argument was, would a 1-loss Alabama go ahead of Boise State and TCU? Well, you could make that argument. But will a 1-loss Alabama go ahead of a undefeated Ohio State or Oregon? Not going to happen.
That's why we watch.
You got to win them all. That's the thing, to control your own destiny. You got to win them all.
I thought you were doing that off the top of your head, and then I saw you.
No, I got a note card.
No, you got it, yeah. I'm still impressed, but I was really impressed. Second down. 16.
Last thing you say as a quarterback breaking the huddle. Hold on to the ball.
Lattimore holds on to the ball, but he doesn't gain anything. Marcel Darius going to force defensively. All right, Alabama trailing by 14. Ohio State won big. Oregon leading Washington State. That's going to be a low total of points for them. Boise State at home tonight against Toledo. TCU. Oklahoma had an open week. Nebraska Thursday night. Taylor Martinez with a huge game. Auburn tonight. Arizona tonight. And Utah.
And I think it's probably time that the big schools, if they stay undefeated, will jump Boise State and TCU. Auburn, LSU, if they win, they'll all jump them.
Third down, 14. 2 seconds on the play clock. Lattimore. It's going to be fourth down.
Marcus Lattimore for Carolina.
Well, big plays in this game. And this was Jeremy Shelley from 42 yards out. A.J. McCarron goes to Ed Stinson. And Gary made the point then that they would not have gotten the first down.
My play of the game is right here. Steven Garcia on 3rd and 8. Remember, he had just taken the kind of dumb safety, but he stood right back up. Remember, he's been yanked. I mean, this guy has been, Steve's been on him for 2.5 years, and he stood right in there and delivered that throw.
Lanning starts on with 1:59 to go. And South Carolina, no flag yet. Do they call another timeout or do they take a delay?
There's a flag.
They took a delay of game. Just here's the flag.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Vern, just a note. It's not going to feel good if you're an Alabama fan, but they did keep their other streak alive.
Yes.
Lattimore finished with, 93 yards?
Yeah.
It's 40 straight games. They still need 2 touchdowns.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis keeps his name in the Alabama game notes each week. He was the last to rush for 100 yards, and that was 131 for Ole Miss. There is no flag. And this one comes to a rest at the 25-yard line with 1:42, 1:41, and the clock stops.
Well, it's going to take a miracle. Touchdown drive, onside kick, and another touchdown.
McElroy lost a fumble. Shelley missed a field goal. He also missed an extra point. And then there was a dropped pass by Ed Stinson on a fake field goal. Last regular season loss at Auburn. That was in the Iron Bowl in 2007. They lost to Florida the SEC championship game in 2008. Put together a lackadaisical effort against Utah in the Sugar Bowl that year and haven't lost since. McElroy. Incomplete. And don't forget that we have the Jeep postgame show on CBS. We'll go back to the studio with Tim Spencer and Coach Philip Fulmer, and they'll have some things to say about this. By the way, there were 2 big wins by teams from Bulldogs today. Georgia beat Tennessee, huge. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Texas Lutheran University Bulldogs.
There we go.
Trinity, 42-11, 3 wins for the year.
Make sure you send in your note donation also.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for the year. On the second down, the catch is made, but the tackle is as well Ingram. So Ingram and Richardson, 17 carries, 64 yards.
And the first, if South Carolina can do this, Vern, it'll be the first time they've ever won on CBS. What sets the Carquest? What is it?
Since there's the sack. Let's see if he got back to the line of scrimmage. If he did not, that's going to be a sack. It'll be number 8. You know the last time South Carolina won on CBS, the 1995 Carquest Bowl.
Who did that game?
That would be Dan Fouts and yours truly.
So you're the good luck charm.
Yeah, I've been a jinx for a while. 40 seconds to go. On 4th and 10, McElroy. Catch is made, and apparently enough to move the chain. It will be a first down with 18 seconds to go.
The SEC West is wide open. Auburn, LSU, Arkansas, Alabama, 4 teams are going to fight it out in the West.
Alabama goes back home against Ole Miss next week in Tuscaloosa. South Carolina goes to Lexington against Kentucky. This one caught by Julio Jones. And that's it. Gamecocks win. Garcia with a brilliant game. 17 of 20 for 201 yards. Ingram hurries into the locker room. 11 for 41. Goalposts are down. I think they took them down. They did. First time Greg McElroy has lost since 2001 in middle school. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Coach, the biggest win in school history, that signature win here that you've been waiting for. How did you knock off Alabama?
This was a fun game. Our defense played their hearts out, and our offense had the best game we've ever had here. So it was a good win for us, but hopefully we can keep going.
In the beginning of that second half, it looked as though things were going to unravel, but talk about the poise of Steven Garcia and your team.
Well, Steven had his best game. Alshon was terrific. He had that one ball, but it was a great team win for us, Tracy. Good win for us.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
All right, Tracy, I think you can make the case. It's the biggest win for Steve Spurrier since Florida won the national title against Florida State in 1996. What a moment for the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Boy, that was quick. Gutenberg's got a printing press near the locker room. The Jeep postgame show coming up next. Tim Spencer, Philip Fulmer. This has been fun, as Steve Spurrier said. South Carolina defeats Alabama 35-21. For Tracy Wolfson, Gary Danielson, Vern Lundquist. We'll see you next week from somewhere